Hello, Charizardforthewin here. Today we're talking about Godzilla, the new one that just came out. I've seen the original Godzilla, and that's about it. So this is basically kind of newish for me. Anyways, I don't really know a whole lot about the other Godzilla movies, but I know there's a lot. And anyways, I've seen the original, and that's it. And this one is pretty cool. It's doing more original, not original, but realistic take on Godzilla, obviously. And I really liked that the trailers didn't give anything away, which is good. And yeah, it's this one's kind of more about the human characters, and there's a lot of build up to the fights with Godzilla and stuff like that. Where the original one also kind of had a lot of build up to it, but the parts that didn't have Godzilla in it in the original one were just really boring. Where in this one, the characters and everything that's going on is actually interesting, and you're engaged in the movie. So I think that makes it good and worth watching. One of the things I really like about this one is at the very beginning, it had opening credits. I haven't seen a movie with opening credits in like a new movie with opening credits in at least a few years. Like it's crazy. And then the title at the beginning of the movie, which a lot of movies don't do these days for some reason. And it was awesome because right away with the music and the titles and the visuals and everything that they did at the beginning of the movie, it instantly hooked me. I'm like, I already love this movie. This movie's already awesome, and I haven't even seen it yet. And like, why don't other movies are they afraid to show the title or the opening credits because they don't think you'll like it or something? Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with credits? What's wrong with the title of the movie at the beginning? Like. I don't know. It's weird. Why don't they do that anymore? But and this movie definitely feels kind of a little bit like an older movie. Like it takes ideas from Jurassic Park, which is awesome because I love Jurassic Park, and just the pacing of the movie and the way it's laid out. It's very much like a Spielberg movie, and also very much just kind of an just slightly older style of movie, and it's really cool, and I like that, and I also like that it doesn't show everything right away, and yeah, there's build up to it. You have to wait and actually wait around before things happen, and the build up and the characters and everything is really interesting and stuff, and it's just a really good, well done movie up until the part where Godzilla does things finally, and like there's a few parts where it's like, can we just darn it, we didn't get to see anything happen, and like it like builds it up, and then it's like, oh well, that was whoops, we didn't see that part happen, and it's kind of hard to explain without giving too much away, but like it like shows, oh, this fight with Godzilla is gonna happen, and then it doesn't show the fight happen exactly. So that part is like, there's a couple parts like that where it's like, dang it, but like, because really you want to see Godzilla destroy things and stuff, and that does happen eventually, but it just takes a little longer, and they like show, oh yeah, yeah, Godzilla, he's gonna, no, yeah, you don't get to see it, sorry, and then that's kind of annoying. Anyways, for the most part, everything's really good. Bryan Cranston is in this movie. Obviously, he does a good job, but he's not in it as much as the trailers would make it seem. He's like, he is in it, but he's not in it as much as he's not really a main character exactly. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Kick-Ass, is the main character, and he does a good job. I think I liked him as a character, and him and his family, they do a good job with making the audience like them. Like I thought they were likable people. I enjoyed. Well, I don't know. Like I legitimately didn't want them to die, and they do a good job of making it seem like they could die, and that like they were actually in danger, unlike and you made it seem like you don't want them to die, but they could, kind of thing. It was just like made you care about the characters, and they did a good job of that, and I really like that. Aaron Taylor Johnson does do a good job in this movie, and yeah, he's pretty cool. He's gonna be a Quicksilver, which is cool. And apparently, the person playing Scarlet Witch plays his wife in this movie, and she's good as well. But the main thing that people care about is Godzilla. And when we finally do see Godzilla do stuff, it's awesome. And they do a really good job. The special effects look great. And it's just like, fuck yeah, Godzilla. Like, What's one thing that's different about this one is Godzilla's not exactly the villain in this one, whereas like the original one, he was straight up the villain. But like even in that one, I was still kind of rooting for Godzilla, even though he was killing people and destroying Tokyo and cities and basically everything. I was still like, yeah, Godzilla, destroy things. And like in this one, he's not really the villain, but like when he does stuff, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Godzilla. And I think that's kind of the main thing with Godzilla is he's just this crazy, unstoppable thing, and he's awesome. And yeah, he is really cool in this one. And yeah. So anything you would expect from a Godzilla movie does happen in this one, and there's a lot of build up to some like really cool stuff where you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's awesome. And it's kind of hard to explain without giving away because I don't really want to give anything away because the trailers don't, which man, they shouldn't. They obviously don't want you knowing everything about this movie coming in, which is great because then you get surprised by things. And some parts you think this is going to happen and something else happens, and that's great. It's like, oh, cool, I didn't even know this was going to be in the movie. Anyways, I think this Godzilla was pretty cool, and I think that's basically it. And yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in it, and see you next time. Subscribe.